Where the boat is taking you. Where you guys currently are is the city of.
Okay.
Essentially, Serene, not New Serene, but just Serene, which is not confusing at all.
Yeah, totally. Is the stream going? Do we want to start the stream?
It's going.
Okay. All right.
This is where you're starting, which is just called Serene. You're in the old one, the original.
Yeah, me and OG Serene. Got it.
Right. OG Serene.
All right. Well, this is your last day before your stop, and only one of you has technically secured passage on a boat. So, as we begin this day, each of you can just roll me a quick d6, and we'll see who wakes up first.
Okay. 2.
3.
Oh, you guys are all sleeping in. Okay, early bird. All right, if you would kindly describe your surroundings and yourself as you are the first to awake on this morning, right before the ship that you want to take is going to leave, that you've not yet secured passage on. But you know of many ways to do so.
I'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps.
Keep telling yourself that.
No one is literally there. You can grab a box next to the docks, walk on the ship, set it down, and go underground, and no one's going to bat an eye.
I mean, don't ruin my plan, but okay.
He's already 3 steps ahead of you. Run.
If you roll right, maybe. If you don't, that might be the wrong ship, and it's maybe not leaving anywhere. We don't know. we are going to
on the
find
wrong
out.
ship.
There's more than one ship, guys.
Circus.
I'm going to tell you this right now. The port is big. There are multiple ships.
Okay.
I hope you guys are on the way.
Perfect. So, to set the scene for myself, big port, multiple ships. I am trying to find the right ship and then get away on this said ship to take me to where I want to go.
All right. And you're headed to the docks then.
I am headed
Wherever
to
All right, from wherever it is you chose to lay your head and spend the night, you awaken. What do we see as this person steps out into, I don't know, do they step out into the open public or are they doing the ninja from shadow to shadow thing? What do we see from our, fourth person point of view?
fourth person omniscient is going to see a very thin character um, with really bright blonde hair walking down this dock. Um, though she's not trying to hide, she's also trying to not draw attention to herself. So she's taking means to avoid bumping into people and trying not to meet anyone's eye as she's walking down towards this pier. Instead of looking at the people around her, she's trying to look at these boats to see if she could determine which boat it is that she needs to get on. What do I see as I look around?
You're starting to head over to where the dock, and give me a quick investigation check. Are you listening for like people's conversations? Are you looking for signs? How are you trying to determine, or how are you gathering your information off? Like eavesdropping, signs, information gathering, gossip? How would you like to do this?
I am looking for signs while also trying to see if I spot anyone that looks familiar.
All right. Quick investigation or perception. Your choice, depending on how active you want to be in the look around, or are you just grabbing a few spots and giving a quick once over?
I feel like I would really be trying to look, so I'll roll an investigation, even though it's my lower one, but we'll do this.
As you wish, as you wish. Also, could you give a quick description of what they're wearing? While you, however you wish, are you like in a full-on normal getup? Are you fully cloaked up and like, is your hair out, tied together? Can people tell what your face looks like by just passing by on the street, or are you fully Assassin's Creed hooded up?
No, so I am making no efforts to hide my face right now. I'm assuming it's a bright sunny day, or what is the weather like right now?
You've got a few clouds in the sky and a few bits of what looks like some storms on the side, but they seem to be passing you by. You've got the nice sun. It's early morning. There are clouds and there are people up bright and early. What time do you think you woke up? How early did you been? Like before dawn, at dawn?
It would have probably been right after dawn.
Okay, right after dawn. Then you hear very easily finding the hustle and bustle of the early shop owners, and the ones who get up at this hour to work ships is very much the sailors.
Perfect.
So you can
Okay.
probably figure that a lot easier following.
In that case,
All right, what would you?
Her hair would be tied up, pulled back, so that it's out of the way. And she is wearing very, I guess, nondescript clothing. She does have some leather armor that she has, but it is also not anything fancy, not anything eye-catching. It definitely looks like it is more on the used side. But she is looking around trying to determine which boat it is that she needs to get on. I rolled a 16 for my investigation check.
All right, great. It's simple. Looking around with signs, overheard a conversation or two. You know that the ship that's going to take off by tomorrow, very large dock known as the Gale, is currently being loaded up with its last both provisions and the listed inventory of what it's supposed to transfer back and forth. Whatever that may be, cargo or what have you, people as well. You can overhear a few sailors talking about how it seems to be a skirmish with the coin guard about cargo they have agreed to transport, yet it not being properly listed on the manifest. Some gripes they have with people, and if it's not on the thing, it's not on the list, it doesn't get in the warehouse, and if it's not in the warehouse, it's not getting moved on the ship. And then they kind of like walk around the corner, and you don't hear the rest of that little conversation, but you do know that the ship you're looking for is called the Gale, and you see directly in front of you are 3 very large ships. You might have to get a little closer to see if you can maybe catch a name or if someone can tell you, but you can likely assume that one of these 3 is the ones you're looking for, as out to the side there are other ships, but they seem to be less in use than these 3 are.
Okay. Making note of that conversation. Put that in the back of my mind because that might come up later. Do I see people coming on and off of these ships?
You do, and you'll notice that there are specific, out of the 3 large ships, the port is separated from where people, you see normal people can go around. Some seem to be talking to dock workers while others are talking to the actual sailors. And there seems to be there's essentially a large rope that's separating the people who actually work on the dock and on the ships from anyone else trying to either ask, buy passage, talk to them, or try to initiate some sort of business, or simply saying hello. You notice that those that do step in are usually have to be physically invited in by the others. Everyone else is usually keeping an eye out to make sure no one crosses said line that's more or less 20, 25 feet from the actual edge of the dock.
Okay, I am going to approach that rope
Great.
from the passenger side to see if I could speak to one of the workers.
Great. And you'll notice, and easily enough to notice, you can tell by the outfits itself, it's described, or it's notable from most of the sailors are more or less described by the facial tattoos. Anyone with essentially what looks like strange, unknown little patterns or whisker marks, anything it's essentially giving them a mini beard that goes around their mouth, down, and just reaches just below their neck, right around where their Adam's apple would be. Everyone marked with this is essentially marked a crewmate of a ship. Not knowing which or how it would mean, but you know that any one of those is officially a Nort and does live on a ship, more or less. The higher the ranking, the more the tattoos are expanded upon, and that's how they clarify rank.
Okay.
So you mainly just see sailors, lowest rung.
Perfect.
And you're approaching, yes?
I am approaching.
All right. All right. Anyone in particular you're trying to get at? Anyone who's working, or someone who's because they do have a few of the people there, like actual guards posted, just looking around.
I am going to try
So
to.
they're not.
I'm going to try and approach one of the sailors, not the guard. I am going
All
to
right.
try and do my best to avoid the guard if possible.
All right. The guard is not the official coin guard of the city, but they're just Norts, but they seem to be just a slightly higher status. They seem to have tattoos that are more or less around their cheek. So you know that they're just slightly above the. They've likely been here longer, got a few voyages overseas under their belt, and it just looks like they're just keeping an eye out on both the warehouse and the ships themselves. But by the looks of it, it looks like they're not paying much attention.
Okay.
This is going specifically off of your passive, which I've already looked at, so you're fine. All right, what do you say? How would you like to do it?
Do I manage to weigh one of them down?
You do. It's not difficult. They're used to this kind of thing. Some people just want to ask questions. Some have never seen an actual Nord before that haven't traveled out this far to the coast. Some are just actually talking about how they might procure passage or what it would cost to transport things. It's something they're more or less used to, and they can usually either answer it themselves or they'll point you in the direction of the office where you can get it done.
Perfect. I am the leader. I am immediately going to ask how I would be able to procure passage on the Gale.
You're looking at, and you noticed immediately that almost most of the new recruits shaven completely bald with a sailor's cap. Think Pirates of the Caribbean Jack Sparrow type hats on almost all of them. And you see what you weren't sure at first, but then you notice this is a young woman. Nice, soft features, just slightly shorter than you are, baggy clothing. She seems to be carrying a small crate, and she does answer your question. Oh, if you're looking for passage on the Gale, you'll have to check with the registrations to see if there's any available. I heard it's taking off tomorrow, and this is usually done earlier than this. But you never know, there might be a few spots available. If you can just, and she'll begin to point a small ramp that seems to be next to the actual warehouse where most of the things are being taken out of to be loaded onto the ships. There's a small door in the front. You can just go to that side and careful not to go anywhere else around there. A few more guards, and they're going to skirmish or two up there as of recent. But that, if there are any spaces left, they'll let you know how it's done and how to get them.
The woman will just nod her head in acknowledgement, and then quickly turn away and head towards the direction that she mentioned, towards the registration.
Great. And you go. You essentially went down to eventually look at a better view of the ships. There's a small ramp to the side that leads you up to a roughly second floor on the docks, where there's a massive warehouse-looking building that goes back. You can't even see how far it goes back, but it's essentially fenced off. There are 3 entrances. 2 of them appear to be just open wide, but are with people going in and out. Sailors, you've noticed, dock workers. And there's the third one as just a door that seems to be closest to the actual edge of the dock to the city, which seems to be the office that you were pointed to.
Okay. As I get closer to the building, I am going to lift up a green hood that's attached to my tunic and kind of cover my golden hair and the majority of my face as I approach the building.
All right.
Is the door open? Would I just open the door? Do I have to
Yep.
knock? I'm just going to walk in.
Don't see any sign. You walk in. It's open. You go in there. There's a small desk, and there is a man to the side wearing the full-on captain overcoat and looks almost like a leather tunic. Full-on sailor's gear, boots, gloves, the whole shebang. He seems to have a red bandana, very long, black shoulder-length hair. The tattoos you can see that go both around his mouth to the side of his cheek almost look like a tattooed beard, but you can see them going down his neck, signifying him as not just that, but a captain. As the side of his eyes also seem to join into this whole facial design. And yeah, he seems to be there, and you've caught his attention with this.
Wasting no hesitation. As soon as I see that I have his attention, I'm immediately going to ask him.
Yeah.
I am seeking passage on the Gale. What is it that I need to do?
All right. And then he just turns to you and looks down at what seems to be a small booklet that he's just flipping through. Let's see. Gale's tagging off tomorrow. I've only got a handful of spots left. They're not great, to be honest. And also depending on how many last damn nobles aren't here, and if they bring more servants, some people might have to be shipped onto another boat. Look, I've got 3 spaces left, but I'm also reserving 5 spots for other people, and if they bring more, they might take off the 3. So if you want to try and get this in now and get your things in to try and lease those out. For the last minute, you'll need at least, it'll be 100 to get you there.
There's a small little grumble of dissatisfaction at that number, but she does reach in to her coin purse and start pulling out gold pieces. I don't need much. I don't have much. I could board now if that's what you wish.
We don't leave till tomorrow, and no one boards until we leave. Things have gotten tense as of late, and this is just better for everyone. But your name will be down, and you will have. And he just goes back and he just starts writing you out a small little parchment that just says you did, in fact, purchase your voyage on this ship. So it's official. It's an official deal that can't be nagged by one of the other higher ups to essentially move you off to somewhere else. So this is your secure ticket if you want it. And he hands it to you.
She will take that ticket.
Don't lose
and
that.
Begrudgingly give over 100 gold pieces.
All right. Well, be here tomorrow. We leave first light.
So be it. And she will take her ticket and securely place it inside her bag before leaving.
All right. Can't believe you said yes to that. All right. You begin to leave. And actually, what was your passive?
50.
I told you multiple ways to do this. You didn't have to say yes to this.
I know. I know.
Someone else that you recognize that has the emblem of the Coins Guard, but not as armored as you'd know some of like active soldiers or on guards to be, just quickly passed by you and has gone to talk to this captain as you begin to make your move.
Perfect. I quickly
With a 15, you notice the fact that he is Coin Guard. And he looks very, very. I almost want to say befuddled. Sure. It's that stubborn thing of going to ask once again for something you already know the answer to, and you know the answer is not going to be the one you want. Yeah, you see him pass, and you're now standing outside of the office. What would you like to do?
Immediately as he passes, avert my gaze and make sure my hood is still up and hiding most of my features as I quickly rush past him.
All right. Not even gonna. Okay, yeah. You run right past him.
Not right now. Not the best time.
No, go for it.
Is there a good time for that?
A good time to eavesdrop? It depends on who you are and how. I mean, you're set for right now. You now have a day and a half to essentially just chill and wait for the boat to leave, as you are right now.
Exactly.
So yeah, you do whatever you'd like with what you have, and if you wish to explore, or if you just want to go back to wherever you were staying and just chill, this is all you.
I will probably start to explore the town that I'm in now, just to see if I could gather up some supplies for the journey, because I don't have a lot.
All right, you know that the meal is going to be taken care of for you on the ship, but after you get off the boat, you're on your own. So however you want to do that, either buy them here or take the chances and try and buy them over there.
I don't know what's over there. I will buy them
Nope.
here.
All right, you can hit up a quick store. It wouldn't take you long to figure that out, and depending on you telling them that you want food that's going to last for you, or 6 months journey to tide you over while you get settled over there, so they don't give you stuff that'll spoil in the next month.
Yeah.
All right, the rations for that it'll essentially cost you another, depending on how much you want to get, roughly between 5 silver to a gold for roughly a week or two's worth of like just well-aged rations, the stuff that'll last you longer.
Yeah, I probably will get at least a week. If they have enough for 2 weeks, I would gather what I can.
All right. You can grab 2 weeks. And did you get it near the docks, or would it be more in the city?
Probably more in the city.
Okay, in the city, then yeah, it'll cost you the 2 gold.
Okay.
But you now have 2 weeks worth of rations and food and a few canteens of water in there. But you now more or less have a small duffel bag of that's your rations. You'll got those in the back pocket. So just remember to carry that around and not lose that.
Oh, I know.
All right. And you're just gonna explore the city for a bit.
Correct.
Yes, no,
Yep.
specific. Okay. And we're gonna jump to who got the next lowest? I remember both of you guys were pretty low. Who was the next one up?
I think it was
It was Neris.
she got 2 and I got 3.
Okay, so Neris, you're up next. Buddy, you're up and about, and this is the last day before the voyage. Your passage is secure, you've got the proof, and you're just waiting to hear back from the new acquaintance you made on some little weird time you guys had last time.
Yeah, I think he wakes up in his room, I assume.
Yes.
I guess my question would be like, because he's got, that job that, does he have to come in for the last day, or does he just pick up his paycheck, or is that all taken care of?
You can decide how you want to exit this job, whether it is to be you've already collected your final pay and you're just taking these last days to relax, you wanted to work those last days and be paid before leaving. Did you want to go out with style, like half-baked, and just, let them know how you feel? This is your choice.
I think what's been established so far with the dwarves is that he is I just had a hilarious idea.
Like I said, this is just completely up to you. This is your last day in this city before you leave tomorrow early morning. So
I don't think the dwarves were horrible, but I think they were kind of like talking behind his back in Dwarvish, like kind of like talking shit about him a bit. But I think something that he's been holding on to this entire time that they don't know is that he actually speaks Dwarvish. So he knows everything they've been saying.
That's perfect. Go for it.
So I think they wanted to squeeze him for the last day, but he basically said, "No, I'm not doing."
All right. Now, last part cut out for me. Did you repeat it?
I think what I was saying is that the dwarves wanted to make him work the last day, but he declined. So he's just picking up his pay, I think. Final paycheck before he's out. So I think he's getting a breakfast in. He's not really in a rush at the moment. Basically, I think he'll leave a word at the bartender that if Virtue shows up, let her know that I'll be back shortly. I should be back shortly. Just got some final business to attend to.
Right.
I think he's gonna make his way over to that shop.
Which one?
The shop that he's been working at with the dwarves.
Okay, right. Okay. And on your way you go.
Yeah.
You totally don't notice this blonde person just pass you by.
Yeah. She doesn't notice me. Should I describe Paris for the audience?
If you wish, as you step into the light of the city and begin to walk around.
Yeah. I mean, not exactly like you've never met him before, but it's also a different version. When he steps out, I think he throws on his coat, which is this sort of dark brown trench coat. Under it, he's wearing kind of a bit of a bit of a sweater, like got a bit of a collar coming up. He is currently wearing these pretty decently big round glasses over his face, and he's just kind of got a bag slumped over his shoulder. I want to say, I know the shape of it, but like I want to say that his bag takes like a, what's the form of like the it's like, why am I blanking on the name of this? But it's
like a duffel bag, it's like a
not
satchel.
Not a duffel bag, but like a sort of like a cylinder-shaped bag with like on one end of the cylinder it has like the opening, kind of like a duffel bag, but it's instead of opening on the side, it's opening at the top, and like you like pull it like a rope that's on the lining to close it up.
Tube. Oh, cinch bag.
Oh, cinch bag. That makes sense.
There it is.
I want to say it's like one of those is what his bag takes the form of. His special bag.
Great.
But yeah, he's kind of got that tossed over his shoulder, and he is making his way over to the shop. Normally, I think he's a bit, more miffed when he's going to the shop, but I think, considering that this is the last time he ever has to see these dwarves, not that they've been horrible, but he's pretty excited to not have to work in a shop like that for the foreseeable future.
He hopes.
But, he's got goals.
All right.
So, yeah.
He's making his way, so how...
Which, I guess I'd also add that's, hidden from the public at the moment, but he does have a holster and something in it. And...
like, it's tucked away on the side, behind his back.
Tucked away at his side.
Yeah.
Kind of...
across inside his jacket or on his knee.
Actually, I do think that I have an interesting idea. That is kind of... like on his it's kind of at his in between on his side and at his back, but it's like the reverse grip of like what you would normally expect, like you pulling it outwards instead of just pulling it up. I just feel like that
like away style. Or like he just straight up
like you kind of still pull it out, but it's, I don't know how to describe this. It's mostly at his side though, I think, but towards the back of the side.
Alrighty then, and he is walking. What's his purpose?
What's his purpose?
Yes. Why does he walk? And where is he going to?
Yeah. Actually,
also, does he bump into people? Is he able to do this? Let's find out.
Is he able to walk?
You tell me.
I mean, yes. He is actually. I will also note, he's his welding gloves on for the moment, covering his hands up. As he's walking, but he is, not bumping into people. Do I need a roll to walk? To walk with purpose? With some swagger?
Step? Depends. Are you walking confidence, pride, swagger, or are you just getting through the motions with a blank look on your face? This is just for aesthetic purposes. It has no bearing on the game. This is just for me to know.
I rolled a 15, so I think he's pretty excited, actually. I think he spent a big time, quite a bit of time working towards, the events of the next couple days. So he is filled with purpose, I think, at the moment. I would actually note that I think that while he's walking, he's actually kind of attending to something that is in his coat, which... I think we'll probably get to later. I'll send you, Siler, what he's attending to. But he is, you know, I feel like I'm running out of words, but yeah, he's
Finish the sentence.
he seems to be like something in his code is like catching his attention. He's like kind of, maybe he does like inadvertently like maybe bump into somebody or like drift a little too close to a group of people, but while he's distracted by this thing in his cloak.
All right. Okay, nothing happens. All right, you're good to go.
Which I'm sending you that stuff.
All right. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Is this what you what it looks like? Is what it looks like, or did you need to?
Yeah, that's
describe
what
it
what I'm planning on having it look like at the moment. I think he's been working on that for a while, but yeah, it's just
All right.
one of the things I took.
All right. That's what you're working on, and all right. Where's your destination, or are you just going in circles?
Yes, I am still going to the same place I've been going, the shop that you've been working at, with the dwarves.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm saying you get there. Now, how do you proceed? Order of operation, just so I know.
Yeah.
What to roll.
What to roll? He's coming in. I assume they're probably working on their own orders. I don't even know if they notice.
At this point in time, this is a little bit after dawn. It's not too terribly early. It's probably starting to hit 9 to 10. Because you slept in just a little bit, knowing that this was finally your last day. So early morning for them, but they've been at this for a bit, and they're just, knocking out their usual order. You're no longer there to help, so they'll know you're no longer there to help. So they're trying to pick things up a bit, and probably there's a new help wanted sign on the outside when you get there.
I see you're moving on fine without me.
You change your mind about working the last day?
Not quite. Just come to make sure that all debts are squared away. Just
Bags in the corner.
sorry, what do you say? I didn't catch that.
Yep. He just pointed to a little bag in the corner, just a small little coin purse, which would be the last of your pay.
Yeah. How's the order coming in with O'Donnell, out of curiosity? All coming along smoothly? Got any hiccups? I'm just curious, since I knew that was a pretty important one for you guys.
Roll me a quick persuasion check.
Fair. That's fair. Of course, this is what I roll it on. A natural 20.
And he just sighs and says, "It was going faster when you helped, but we're finally finished with the last bits of it. This will be tight, but we should make the delivery. So thanks for the help with that." And you see him struggling to give you this compliment, which he's honestly questioning why he's saying it, but he's also going back on what he had to do and like how they would have done it if you weren't there. Like,
It would have taken a lot longer with, less manpower.
You helped. Things got done with less trouble than usual. So thanks. And it's going along as best as we could hope.
Well, I'm glad to hear that it's finished up nicely. Happy ending. Yeah, I think that you'll be able to find plenty of help. There's a lot of people in this city. Mentor a nice kid, he could turn out be quite a bit of help around here.
Hopefully we find one not as mouthy, but, probably not.
He's at this point he's picked up the bag from the counter and he's kind of he's making his way back towards the door. And he's just gonna kind of give like a salute sort of like wave. It's like as he's stepping out the door and says, or as he's opening up the door, he says, in Dwarvish, well, I'm sure he'll come out twice as talented if he is you, that is. If you all teach him properly, that is.
And do you walk away after saying this, or do you just stay there to see his response?
I'll wait to see his response. But not much longer. Like,
this?
Ready to duck out.
Hey, look at that. He just looks at you for a quick second, and then he just looks. He just like essentially regrips his hammer, and then goes back to work. Then you can hear him audibly say in Dwarvish, "Mouthy little shit."
Yeah, I think with a bit of a smirk, and as he's stepping out, a bit of a sigh. He will.
He said that very deliberately, so you could hear him, just like last time. But now, apparently, he now knows you can hear him, so he's saying it to you without looking.
Yeah. Yep. I think that went about as cathartically as that should have gone. He kind of says to himself and to his coat.
Yeah, no, I rolled to see if he would get angry or fluster or anything. He rolled a perfect, enough to not care but not get angry.
Fair enough. That worked out really good. But yeah, kind of. I think taking one last look at this shop that he spent the past month or two working at, takes one last look and he heads back to the tavern. I think he'll grab.
Make me a quick dex save.
Oh. Saving throw, you said?
Yeah.
That's a grand total of 8.
You get beamed in the back of the head, and it kind of catches in your coat, and you notice that the door just swung back closed.
Oh.
And do you examine what you got beamed with?
Yeah.
No. There's an even smaller little purse that you got struck with. Do you examine this?
I will examine it.
There's roughly a day's worth of pay.
An extra day's worth of pay.
Yeah, for what you haven't worked, but apparently felt like giving you or throwing at you.
I just kind of look a little quizzically at it. It's like, well, I'll be damned. And he just kind of quietly says back towards this tavern. Learned a decent or not tavern. What am I saying? Learned a decent amount. There were some good lessons learned here. Even if there were some bad ones too,
half their shit talking was that, and then them essentially reviewing your work and what you did wrong and what you did right. They're not knowingly teaching you.
Yeah. Good times and bad times. Some of it might be tough lessons, some of them just tough without the lessons, but kind of, takes a moment to, take the good with the bad. Then he's gonna turn around and go get some lunch before heading back.
All right, well, city's yours. You know where the good spots are. You know where the places you haven't tried are. Anything in specific you're going to go look for?
Let's see. I'm gonna roll something, and just to kind of get a vibe of what he's gonna go for. Interesting. I think with what he rolled, I'm gonna go with. He's gonna go to a place that's like a bit of a, like a place he's like hasn't tried before, but he's like heard a bit about. That's maybe like
Right.
on like the more like not an upper class place, but like a place that he's heard like
on low, medium, and high. Like what level of Because in this place there's both quality, price, which aren't necessarily the same, as well as style. Because of this specific port town, you'll find a bit of food from a few different places in the world for the continent. So
I think
if there's specific dishes you'd want from your own homeland, or you want to try this lands or other lands, you're likely to find it.
like highly rated establishment or like a fine dining experience, but like something that's like undiscovered gem sort of place. Like a
So like a local specialty that's
local
not
specialty
so much a
place.
tourist place, but it's more like the locals know it's a good place.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Then you'll make your way, and well, I mean, I do have one. So, yeah, sure. So it's well, yeah, no. You're at the Raven's Nest, which is a weird thing to call like this little, which is essentially a mini cafe, which is essentially more the locals' place than it is anything else. You'll notice the weirdest thing about this place is there is no door, like a front door exit. You essentially hit a street corner, and you only figure this out because of your time here and some of the locals like told you about it. You hit a street corner in which you look across the street. There's a man on a balcony who just looks like he's minding his own business and smoking. And once you and him make eye contact, gives you a quick up and down just to make sure you're actually local. Hits a side button, and the brick wall opens, and you step inside. As soon as you're gone, door closes behind you, and you're now in essentially underground little restaurant. It's nice, it's quaint, and just about everything that you would like to eat, you're likely to find here.
Yeah. I think he's gonna, sit down on his own. I don't know if like this is a busy place at the moment or if it like gets more busy in the evenings. But he's gonna
right now. No, you're essentially just before brunch of the locals, and right after the early morning, like locals come and grabbing their food before they have to head off to work.
Yeah.
So you're just in that peak hour where it's not busy and you can get your food pretty quick.
Yeah.
Whatever it is you'd like, they're likely going to get it for you. Won't cost you more. Most expensive thing here will like maybe run you a gold.
Okay. I think generally would like I don't know if this is the type of place that would have like a chef's recommendation or like a daily sort of thing, but he's gonna try like a signature sort of
They
dish.
can make you most anything, but they also have like the few. They have the signature and daily specials. And being at a port city, it's almost always going to be something from the sea.
Yeah.
So for this one, you've got the yeah, why not? Because it's my favorite. You've got the 8 oceans.
Mm. Yeah,
which is weird because you only know
Ocean's 8.
No, it's weird because they call it 8 oceans. You only know of 3 in this continent.
Yeah, that is something that I think he is thinking he's gonna like think about like as he's eating, but he will give that a go, and he'll also order a coffee.
All right, and it's brought to you in time, and you have yourself a really nice time because it's a nice atmosphere.
Yeah.
Slight music playing, but you can't really see where it's coming from. Everything here is candle lit, and it's actually your choice of like a large bar, small set of dining scene at the wall, and even some tables. And also some people
Actually,
who are just literally just like on some very large beanbag like giant pillows, just chilling out with wine.
yeah. I think actually, like this probably was like a place that he discovered, like maybe not halfway, but maybe even like 2/3 of the way into his stay here, and he's like, I don't want to say religious, but he's like made a regular
It's
occurrence of
become a
like coming,
go-to place.
yeah, go to
You know,
place.
that essentially has marked you as a local, so that's why no one gives you the usual when anyone new comes here.
Think guy or anything.
Usually
Like the
that,
guy knows
yeah,
me,
yeah.
bouncer knows me. Yeah.
Because you've seen this a few times. People sit down, they don't even order. People just their food is brought to them.
Mm, yeah.
Like people of age, they just occasionally just set up that kind of a routine where they know what day they'll be here and what they're going to want that specific day.
Yeah. Because this is like
But yeah,
people here have reputations.
yeah.
Yeah, with
Just
their food.
reputation, honest repetition, and if they're here a specific day, it's because they wanted something.
I think
All
he
right,
just
and
sits and kind of enjoys the last moment. Like this is the last time he's gonna come to this place, at least for, you know,
a good
probably
while.
a long while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
All
I
right,
think
and we'll fade to black here. And for last, certainly not least, Hope, you are waking up.
Yeah, so Virtue, she'll be waking up at the hostel and realizing that it's a bit later than she would have liked, she is going to start heading for the docks, so that she can try to figure out a way onto this voyage.
All right, you know how to make your way down.
Hmm. What'd you say? Know how to make your way down?
Yes, no, you know where the docks is. You've been taken there before. This is assuming like the last few days that you've talked to. Um, uh, you guys have already met, right? And
Paris?
told each other that you're gonna meet up. Yeah, Neris
yeah.
knows. I'm assuming like those
I think
Yeah.
last few days.
I think yeah, he did. I If we didn't have that in one of the interactions, he definitely would have uh like given her like some instructions on like where to go and what to expect for getting the tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also,
All right,
just
then.
Yeah.
real
So she
quick, sorry. Sorry.
would have some idea on how to get there. Now, that's to say, I don't know how well she's able to follow the directions, but I think she can get her bearings.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh,
Well, you know
real quick.
where the I'm assuming Neris showed her where the office was going to be, or where the where to
Ooh,
go
the
and take your first
office?
ticket. For the docks.
Yeah.
Right.
I imagine he would have told her.
Yeah, so are you making your way there first? Did you try and meet up with him, or did you guys schedule anything like for a meetup beforehand?
Mm. No, she's just gonna try to go straight to the docks herself to see if she can find a way to get on there, or find if
All
there's
right,
any open spots.
all right.
Yeah.
Uh, real quick, while I'm thinking about it, I don't want me to interrupt. With the gold that he picked up, would that be
Uh-huh.
included in the starting gold, or would that be separate?
Separate.
Okay. So I guess then what would the amount that I should add should be?
How long did you say you were working there?
I want to say it was a couple months, but I think he had picked up paychecks already.
Yeah, so he'd picked up and spent, so he's slaving along slowly for a weapon shop. Add another 60 gold.
60? Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you've been
Wow.
because you're not. Well, that also depends. Would you have used any of this to try and build or make anything in the time that you're here? Because I'm assuming everything you have or have made, this was before you came here and worked.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make or do something while you were here, you would have had to have used a bit of what you were using up. Because right now, you would have only had what you food, shelter, and the occasional outing. But the rest of it would have been put, assuming to save.
So I do think there are two things that I want to either buy or make, but maybe we should go over those later. Because
Sure.
yeah,
We'll, just, we'll take that out a
add
little
that
later.
for now, and then we can take it. Yeah, I guess one thing just real quick is that would be easy to add is like expanding shield, which I don't know if that would be magical or mechanical, but he'd want to make one of those.
Depending on how you make it. If that's a project you wanted to work on, it would take you a while if you're going to make a mechanical version. If you're going to try and enchant one, same thing, but it also takes time, and both of them will take time, material, and
Maybe we go over that later then.
yeah.
Okay.
But if you want to start on making that, that's fine.
Yeah. All right. So we can go over that later. I think for now, continue on with virtue.
All right, where was I? Oh yeah, heading to the docks. Yeah, so she'll be keeping a well, I guess I should describe her. So this small and rather willowy little drow gal will be scuttling along at a brisk pace toward the docks. She's wearing a very simple but sensible and well-made black dress and a cloak and some somewhat crude goggles and a hat that doesn't seem to quite belong to her. Seems a bit big for her and kind of faded. Doesn't really match the rest of her decent wardrobe. But she carries herself in a rather, how do I say this? I suppose humble way, keeping her head down a bit as she heads to the dock office.
All right. And you're making your way there. And tumble. Yeah, no, it's still a little bit in the morning, but it's just before it hits evening, roughly 10-ish, 11-ish. Slept in just a little. All right, you're making your way there. Any stops you're making for any food beforehand, or are you just going straight there? Or are you you're doing your morning
Just going.
normals?
I'm gonna go straight there, and then I'll do any shopping afterwards. This is important. I'm gonna try to get the passage.
Alrighty then. You make your way to the docks first then, and roll me a quick wisdom check to see if you remember what you were told of how to get there in the office you're supposed to go to.
Okay. Oh shit. Wisdom check. Yeah. Yeah, that's a 4.
No.
That's starting off right.
You were the one I was least worried about, but I was so wrong. Okay. You remember where you were. I know you remember exactly what from memory to the letter, and you suddenly find, and you think you're getting close. You can begin to see like the ports, the ships.
You're breaking up for me. I don't know if it's for everybody else.
Standing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought it was just me.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just me too.
Sorry, bad storm.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Storms suck on D&D night.
Storms rolling through. Yeah.
Anybody?
Not quite.
No better?
Yeah, it's a bit better. Try talking a bit more. I
It's
Yeah, no, this
Yeah.
is storm.
think you're good now.
Sorry, weird thunderstorm and power. Yeah, weird thunderstorm and power's just gone out, but
yeah.
sorry about this. A little spotty for a little bit.
Okay. You can't help it.
That is what it is.
Yep. I'll do my best to listen.
Okay, how about now? Any better? It's
Yep.
finally starting to get a stronger signal.
Yes.
It's a lot better.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, great.
Yep.
You found yourself just a little bit lost in your remembering. And signals crashed.
Well, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Signal? For now, at
Okay.
least.
Well, before this dies on me, you find yourself in some back alleys, and you're not exactly sure how you got here or how to get out. One leads to another round corner. The way you came back is now fairly foggy and very obscured. But you hear. What was your passive perception?
My passive perception is 14.
14. That's enough. You hear from one of the buildings to your faintest whisper of someone screaming, "Let me out of here, you miscreants! Let me out! When my father hears of this," and you can tell this voice is very hoarse.
Let's go
and
help.
With a bit of that seems to die down
There it is.
before it comes up with a new form of insult or declaration of has the signal gone? Am I still talking? Hello?
I
Anybody?
can hear you talking. I'm hearing most of your words, but
No.
for a little bit there is.
Yeah, I'm hearing some.
It's not great.
So I'm hearing somebody scream to one alley, and they sound like they're forced, like they're really trying to reach for insults. Is that what I'm getting?
Sorry about that. Okay, yes. They sound very much tired, haggard, and they essentially sound very tired. And every time they come up with a new slew of insults, they stop to essentially, you think, catch their breath. But they do come back every now and then with a new insult and a new promise of retribution and.
Ooh.
And they keep on mentioning their father, whoever they have not yet named, but continuously bring them up. And
why is the name Malfoy coming to mind?
we don't know. And right before you hear one of these sentences halfway through, you hear a loud crash. Do you stop to listen closer because it's still a little bit of ways away?
Yeah, I'll scoot closer to the noise. I want to know what's going on. Maybe save a rich person and get my passage onto the boat.
You scooch closer, like I said, the 3 pass. The 2 that go down, that seem to go down to a lower level, closer to this large building that you can hear this coming from. It's on the second stage. And afterwards, you hear kind of rough, muffled voices that seem to be what have stopped the loud man from protesting. You can still hear, no longer understanding words, but more muffled noises. If you were guessing, you think this person may have been gagged. But you now know the direction of where it's coming from. It's a very large 2-story, and better looking at it, it's 3 stories, 2 up top and one that seems to be slightly built underneath what you believe to be the ground level now, realizing that this is
all right. Well, I
built on sort of the building on top, so you can see which one is swinging. Yep, everything's gone. Can you still hear me?
Okay, can hear you. I can hear you now.
It was very.
It's touch and go. I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very choppy. So, no, it's okay. I understand.
The person's there. They've been gagged, and you are now in front of this building. You've seen now 2 ways that look like they can be used to get closer, and you can whatever you wish to do.
Okay, 2 ways to get closer. Which one seems like the safest? Like the most sneaky way?
Well, looking down, you see that one seems to lead into like the back, almost yard of this place, but it seems to go further down. While the other one seems to curve around, which could possibly lead you to the front of the warehouse. But that's where you do hear a few more noises, some people talking. You could try and listen closer to maybe figure out what they're saying. Or there's the very long way around that seems to possibly lead away from this. Maybe it's another way around, or it could lead you somewhere else entirely different. It's unsure. The way behind you, however, is still very foggy. It seems to be like across with one of those vents from the underground. It seems to be where it's releasing most of this steam. And make me one more.
I wanna one more perception check. Okay. Okay, that one's better. That is 16.
Awesome. Cool. With that 16, you begin to hear voices coming from where you came from. Past the fog, there seem to be some shadows making their way towards you. They're slow, but deliberately coming your way. You can hear a few mutterings back and forth. You can't quite understand them, but you do know they're coming your way. You have maybe a good 10 to 15 seconds before they're through the fog and they can see you.
Okay. Then I think I want to head in towards the front to where I can overhear what's happening inside, because they probably would expect whoever these accomplices to enter through the back way, because that's already sneaky. So I'm gonna reverse psychology that and enter through the front, I think.
So you're leaving. So you're leaving now. So you're trying to sneak through, or sorry, you cut out a little bit, so I couldn't make out what you were trying to do.
Oh yeah. So I think I'm gonna go sneak into the front so that I can overhear what's happening inside.
All right. You trying to
because as I understand,
walking
that's the
normally,
most
or trying
direct
to
way.
sneak away? Yes, the most direct way to where you hear some voices. Are you trying to sneak, or are you just trying to walk through?
I want to sneak.
All right, roll me a quick stealth check.
Uh-huh. Stealth. I can be stealthy, right? That's a 13. Huh? What'd you say that cut out?
Sorry, I couldn't hear the number. What was it?
Oh,
What was
13. Sorry.
the stealth roll? Oh, great. Now 13. Yeah, you start making your way closer, and you begin to hear the confession. There's back and forth about their guest that they essentially kidnapped last night from a bar after a brawl, after too much drinking, and some less than pleasant words were said. And after this individual finished their drink and insult and started a fight with them, they essentially decided to take him because he seemed of noble birth or seemed very well off, and they could likely get some ransom for him. But one's discussing if it might not, if it'll be worth it, or if it'll end up costing them more. Tagging that he hasn't shut up since this morning when he woke up.
Okay, so they're deliberating on whether or not to keep him or not.
Whether this guy's even worth it or not anymore. Because no one's come for him yet. They've had him since last night, and keeping him here has been taxing on them, apparently.
And no one has spotted me yet.
Not as of yet. You're beginning to come closer. And as you start to make the turn, you see that you've got one more corner left before you hit the essential front of this large warehouse, and you hear them talking a bit more in the distance. A few windows that you've passed by that see this place seems to be a form of storage house, but most of it seems empty. And you can keep making your way back there, but you still hear more of the sound from behind you of the unknown figures that are still walking. Whoever it was that was behind you seems to be following your footsteps, but they're not taking these slow and cautious route. They seem to be walking this way with purpose.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to keep on being sneaky and keep on going my path towards these people in the storehouse. And
the people behind you will reach you first. That is the thing. Like you're walking slowly and sneaky before you get in front of them. The people behind you are going normal speed, and they're coming this way. They're gonna find you first, and you've got a little bit of time to do something if you want before they catch up and see you.
I could just try to act casual. I don't know, fly casual. You know what? That's what I'll go with. I'll just slow down and try to act like I too am walking with purpose in this general direction as it happens.
Cool. So you're no longer like crouching sneakily? No more Minnie the Moocher?
Right.
Okay.
I'm just going to try to be cool.
Are you going to stop completely, or just going to keep walking at a normal pace?
It's going to keep walking at a normal pace.
All right. Keeping an eye behind you, or just waiting, or just keep going until you hit the corner?
I'll keep going till I hit the corner.
All right. Let's see which one's faster. Great. Right as you're about to hit the corner and you begin to turn, you can see at the corner of your eye, two people are essentially walking behind you. They've noticed you, but they don't seem don't seem to be paying you any specific mind. They just seem to be looking ahead past you. And you get a clear look at them.
Okay.
Two individuals, a man and a woman. Both dressed up. You'll notice very finery, one in the standard. You'll see this more on the upper side when you're in church. More of the members of the congregation, specifically any of them who attend the high courts of the princes of the congregation.
Oh.
On the side is a
Mhm.
man fully dressed in armor, both ornate but very functional. It's not simply for decoration. It has
Okay.
stars, but it is very, very well kept, used, and polished. These two character and NPCs reposted, but these
So
are the
two
guys you're
people
seeing
who seem
up
like they're
approaching.
high up in the.
Their
Okay.
appearance would suggest it, and they are walking in your general direction, but looking past you. And the woman does occasionally look up every time you hear the noise of the man.
Okay. Then, as they walk past, I'll really slow down to watch and see what they do. They enter the building.
You're essentially at the corner right before the turn of where the entrance and where the people talking are. You're just gonna sit at the corner, just let them
Mm-hmm.
pass. All right, they do.
Yeah.
The woman only gives you a quick passing glance, and only after she notices the hat and the symbol does she seem to be
Mm-hmm.
just a bit at ease. The man does not. He gives a full down of what you're wearing, weapons, and otherwise, just a full on scan. But he does not leave the side. They make their full way around the corner to engage these men, who seem to have now noticed both them, and one of them has noticed you. Hello?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Um.
Okay, one of them has, in fact,
Then.
noticed you. The other one is still
Mm-hmm.
focused on these two coming, and they are. Uh, these two begin to talk harshly in a language you're no longer able to understand unless you know thieves can't by chance.
I do not.
And you don't hear what they say, but the other two do speak in common, and they've come to ask for the whereabouts of one Constantine Dorley.
Constantine Dorlet.
Yes.
All
Both of
right.
them look puzzled, but they're essentially just going to look back to the still visibly audible man trying to get words out and essentially start talking. So you want the drunkard from last night. That's going to cost you. And you hear the talking now.
You're
The conversation has become.
you're breaking up on me.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. You see that they've begun to talk just a bit more whispered, but it does seem like they're talking in what appears like a negotiation to release this man, who's been identified as Constantine Dorley. You can roll me a quick history check if you'd
Okay.
like.
Sure. History. That is 14.
14. All right, that's enough. You don't know a lot, but you do know that Dorley is one of the names of one of the founding and currently ruling families of princes of this specific continent. Whether how close of a relation this individual happens to be is up in the air. He could be a distant cousin. He could be like next in line. He could be the name of a very long ancestor that they're using for some unknown reason. You only recognize the last name, not the first.
Well, there's a negotiation, it seems.
Yeah, but it's starting to become a bit more hushed. So you can choose to try and listen in from where you are now. It'll be a little more difficult, or you can risk sneaking a bit closer. Two up front and two in the back are now starting to close ranks on these two. And from what you've seen and from where you are, the door that leads into this place is now a little less guarded, as their attention is mainly on them, and they've begun to close in around them.
Okay, I want to try to sneak through that less guarded door. See if I can get inside. And find...
All right. Roll me
Constantine.
Stealth. This is a small fence because you go up a little ramp. The second one that was currently guarded, that's now being unguarded because of the guards' attention is now off you, because the only one that knows you're there is currently talking to them. The other ones didn't notice you.
Okay. Stealth? Just stealth, or stealth and something else?
Stealth and acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
Okay. Do stealth. That's a 12 for stealth. And then acrobatics. Ew, that's an 8. Oh, I'm not doing good.
All right, give me those two numbers one more time, just to double check.
Okay, so that was a 13? Is that what I said? A 12 and an 8?
I think so, guys.
12 and an 8?
I believe so, right?
I think.
Oh, not great.
Yeah.
Really, half of them didn't notice anything. They're very engrossed in this negotiation, which seems to have haggled on the price
Wow.
of what, about 350 gold to release this annoying person that they're assuming is someone who could pay this. And as you jump over essentially the balcony, or not the balcony, it's essentially just the like a small porch to like get to the door that's right on the side that you only just noticed was there. You stumble at the last second and kind of face plant very audibly.
They hear me?
Yes.
Or do I just stumble? Okay.
You stumble and two of them hear you. And they are coming in this way to investigate. The other two are still focused on this negotiation. They're very much trying to finagle for what they assume are the people here to negotiate for this person. And they seem to be okay with paying. They just need to hash out this deal. And two of them did notice that, hey, something just made a sound over here. Let's what is it? Because if these guys are trying to double cross us or something, we need to know. So 2 of these masked individuals are trying to make this way out. And you do notice they're dressed similarly to the people you encountered one of the first nights you came here. Very underground,
Yeah.
very weasel. These are thugs, bandits, and whatnot. Ruffians.
Gotcha.
All right, what do you do? They're stunned. They're closing in.
I'm gonna run in and find Constantine. Yeah, that's
trying
real
for the
smart.
door?
I think so.
All right, you reach in for it, and it is open. It is a pull, not a push. So in opening this door,
Okay.
go inside. It is audible. It is old and it is rusty. This one specifically that you've chosen. So if they didn't know you were there then, they do now. But you are now inside. You are now inside. And you do hear a few screams and rustles outside, but you're now inside. What do you do?
She's gonna call Mr. Constantine. She's just gonna call for him.
Gone? No, I know.
Right. Do you do anything else and move? There are 2 people that are you can hear coming to get to the still open door.
Yeah, I mean, she's just gonna be trying to put distance between her and them, but also look for this guy.
All right. Well, you stepped in the room. It's a large square room. There is another door to your left, nothing to your right. That's the window where you saw where you came in.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be another room with some possible stairs. You'd have to go through this one. Nothing but boxes and a few mismatching items here. Some look old, some haven't been touched, others look like they're relatively new. So you're going to stay here to fight, or you're going to move through the place?
I'm going to move through the place.
All right.
I think I'll try to head for the boxes and things where he might be.
All right. Do you stop, or do you try and listen in? Do you hear anyone responding to the person you're calling out for?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you try and listen for anyone responding to the name you're crying out for?
That broke up on me.
Sorry. Are you trying to listen for a response to the yell of Constantine when you entered and ran into this place?
Yes.
All right. Mm-hmm. You do hear one muffled, but you hear it coming from down where you're going and slightly above you. You also hear the sound of a loud metal clanging and the sound of a gunshot. Need you to quickly roll initiative for this. You're not necessarily in combat, but we're taking turns to see if the 2 people after you catch up, or if you find him first, whichever.
Okay, that's a 22 for initiative. Really a good roll, I suppose.
Nice.
Alrighty then.
On your own for this one.
Yep. Okay, well, you're going first, so what do you do? As you've now reached into the second room, you can see there's clearly upstairs. There's also a small thing that leads downstairs to looks like a small basement or rookery. But you hear the noises still coming up, muffled from upstairs.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then I'm heading up the stairs towards the noise.
All right. You run upstairs, you get there, and there's it's a 4-way split on the hallway with 4 different rooms. What would you like to do? All out again, or wait to listen for hopefully? something?
I'll call out again. Mr. Dorley, where are you?
All right. Now, are you waiting for the response, or are you trying to guess one of these rooms? Or are you just going to wait to see if you can hear that response? You got roughly 30 feet of movement. You've used about 20.
I'm just gonna pause and like listen for a sound. On edge, but it's a pause.
All right, and you do receive your answer, but that will be at his turn, which is fortunately lower in the initiative. But the rest, most of this is happening off downstairs in the yard, which you can hear with one more gunshot and a lot more loud clanging of metal. But it does seem to be dying down, and you hear the sounds of more scurrying, as well as the sounds of scurrying behind you, as the people who are chasing you have continued to give chase, and you can see them running up the stairs. And you also hear from the upper left corner, so just straight forward and to your left, you can hear the sounds of someone responding to the cry of Constantine. Or no, you asked for something else.
Okay.
Right, it's back up to your turn, but you do see that these people now have you in their sights. No ranged weapons on them, but two of them have drawn rapiers. And they do now see you. What do you do?
Keeping my hands up, I am going to head towards the sound of the response to my call.
Okay, so you're going into the room?
Have any beef with them. I'm just gonna... Yes, I'm going into the room. What have I gotten myself into?
All right. You go up to the door. You check it, and this door is locked. It does seem to require a key to get in. You could try and force your way if you'd like, some way. But you do currently have two people who are closing in, roughly after you finish whichever you're doing. 10 feet to get to this door. You can clearly hear the person from inside there, and you can clearly see the two people making their way up the stairs. What would you like to do?
I'm not gonna choose violence. Seeing that the door is locked, I'm going to step away, I'm going to step back into their field of vision, hands up. Alright, I don't... To be honest, I don't know exactly what I'm doing here. I heard someone calling for help and I followed. Now I'm here. Please, don't hurt me. I'm just trying to be a good Samaritan. I'll be on my way. I didn't mean to interfere with anything nefarious.
Okay. All right, that was your turn. These two guys are actually going after the two people downstairs. Surprisingly enough, they did not roll well. Oh. These guys are a little. These guys don't have that big like of a boost, and they also didn't roll great. And the other two are no longer involved. The original two, anyway. You hear some more pitter pattering from downstairs, and one of them looks back and essentially readies his weapon and taps the other on their shoulder. Said, "We're being boxed in." And the other one just looks down and looks at you and just does. Then we'll use the girl. And he says, grab the key and use the other one. As they both make a beeline towards you and the room. And I'm going to need you to make me a quick athletics or acrobatics, as this man is going to attempt to grapple you.
Okay.
Melee with a caster.
Shit.
Yeah. As the other one seems to pull out a key, a small ring of keys, only like 4. Quickly shuffles through one, opens the door, and goes into the room where you can now see there is a man on a sideways X cross, just currently hung, shirt open, billowing in the wind, thinly but very not so much muscular but well kept man who seems to have slightly malnourished and sickly, very pale. It looks like he tied one on and just hasn't recovered. Have the best night of recovery.
Yeah, and for the athletics or acrobatics, that was a grand total of 6.
Oh, you are currently held at rapier point. It's at your throat, and the man is now using you as a makeshift shield across the 2 individuals that you saw coming up. One with blood on their sword, and the other one rapier drawn. And in the opposite hand, an odd, glowing, dancing ball of energy, light. You're not sure. But they seem to see this, and they've stopped mid-charge, as the other guy seems to be unshackling and attempting to essentially do the same thing, as they're both coming out with both of you with blades drawn.
So I'm still at rapier point.
Yes, you're currently grappled at rapier point. Right? No, you're currently grappled. You're grappled at rapier points. The now identified Constantine is also being held at knife point, but he seems like he's barely able to stand on his own. And the 2 mystery guests who have not yet been named, one with a very large, broad greatsword, let's be honest, 2-handed, and seems like it's done its work, is currently staring at the young man and at you, very puzzled. While the woman is doing the same, but more so just her eyes are fixed on the man, on Constantine.
Okay.
It is now your turn.
Virtue will look at the man who has her at rapier point. Please, sir, I'll be on my way. I won't tell anyone of what I've seen. I'll go. I just wanted to help. I heard someone calling for help, and I answered the call. I didn't mean to get involved in your affairs. Please just let me go.
And he's barely paying attention to you and just staring at them more so than at you. But as a quick response, he just whispers, "You really are dumb. And I'm honestly a little surprised you're this naive." Which is all he seems to say to you before the quick conversation, as both of them begin to shout out demands of lowering weapons and essentially locking themselves. He essentially kicks 2 manacles out and is ordering them to essentially disarm and lock or manacle each other to the side of the wall, lest they kill both of you.
Oh boy.
This went from a negotiation to these guys can clearly take these 2 on and not come out without a scratch, so this is more their desperation to get on a live move.
Okay. I'm gonna hold my action then until some bullets start flying or swords start
Any
flinging.
specific action you want to hold? Kind of break out of the grapple? There's a spell you want to try and cast, or just so I know, what's the action you're going to try and hold?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold Eldritch Blast.
On who?
Now, I'm on the man in front of me.
So the man holding Constantine.
The man holding me at rapier point.
Okay. This will be a disadvantage if you just do decide to let this fly. Any specific trigger
Right.
you're waiting for to let this happen?
I'm waiting for, I suppose, any violence towards me, any like. If you
Violence
start,
towards you specifically?
shoving me or. Yes.
All right. And you're trying to do this subtly or making this apparent?
Yeah. I'm gonna do this subtly because I don't know what's gonna happen.
Roll me a quick sleight of hand. So, neither of these two gentlemen notice that you're slowly conjuring energy in your hand.
Okay, sleight of hand. That is 22.
Right. Well, he rolled an 18 on the die, and he has a 0 on that perception, so first one doesn't see you. And a 19 on the die with a 0 on perception to the modifier, so they both do not see you.
Woo!
The 2 on Kurt, the gentleman with the large sword, still very focused on the other guy. Okay, but you notice that the woman does notice what you're doing and does seem to start to think and looks like she's trying to form up a quick plan. And yeah, with your quick passive perception, you notice that she's with her turn. So is that your turn?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. That's in order. Okay, those two first. Kurt is just going to bark out. If both of you are trying to make it out of this alive, you'll do the smart thing and surrender, or you'll end up like your boys downstairs. And he just turns to you and says, "Who the fuck are you, lady?"
No one you would know.
No shit. What the fuck are you? And he just stops himself and just focuses back on the one holding Blade Constantine. That's when the one at his left will begin to speak of, now let's try and settle this diplomatically. We were doing an excellent job before the... And she looks at you, mishap. We can still work this out. And if anyone wants to make a quick perception check, or it'll only be you. You want to make a quick perception check as you notice that she seems to have dissipated the magic from her hand to hold it up like she's not doing anything, but is beginning to shift her rapier just slightly.
That's a 7 perception.
You just think she's moving around for the fun of it. She's just trying to show them that she's not a threat or anything. But yeah,
okay.
She's attempting to talk the situation down. Let's see if her persuasion can beat their insight. That is a 6. And that's a 3. That's 2. And a 5. What the actual hell? Nothing above a 10? Yeah, sure. So that was poorly delivered by both sides of not believing it or feeling it as they said it. Both of them just tightened the hold on their weapons and just once again, and pushing it just a bit closer to Constantine's neck, repeat the demands to drop their weapons and manacle themselves, or the pretty one dies. And very assertively points to Constantine.
Okay.
Pretty one gets it first, then the lady.
Hey boy. Sorry.
I just wanted to
They
go
don't know
down
what
the
to call you, and
boat.
they did, and then you went and investigated something, and well, things happen from there. It's
The
happened to
danger of
all of
not
us.
minding your own business.
And
Getting
just
wrapped
poorly
up in other
planned. You could
people's
have,
stuff.
if this could have been really good if you'd gotten past that first part. There was no one else in here. This really there was cool stuff in here too. Just that
Yeah.
first
I
roll
mean, there
really.
still is. Just
I
gotta
mean,
deal with
yeah,
this whole situation.
yeah, because these guys are extortionists. They probably got a few things here smuggled and or stolen or looted. But
Yeah.
see how this turns out, because this didn't go well. This did not go well. But yeah, no, negotiations are not going positively, and let's see who flinches first.
Okay.
More? Yeah. All right. So, yeah, they're not going to lower their weapons. They seem all the more determined, and while they haven't taken a step towards you, they seem to be angling themselves a bit to the side, which is causing them to be just a tad bit more nervous. But it is currently your turn. Well, what are you going to do? You can continue to hold that spell, but it's going to eat your turn again, or you can try something else.
I really don't know what to do.
Ever been in a hostage situation before?
Really?
No, I haven't.
Surprising.
I could try and mind
surprising.
sliver on this guy.
I never would have
I mean,
guessed.
usually we're the usual bad guys in D&D, but
Yeah. Shoot. Yeah, I'm gonna try mind sliver and try to get past this guy, the man holding me at rapier point.
Okay, you're gonna try and. All right. This is still. I gotta double check. Is it a ranged attack or is it melee? Because if it's ranged magical,
Yeah,
you
it's
might
a
have
range of
might be a disadvantage.
it's a ranged of 60 feet.
Okay. Somatic,
Instantaneous duration.
or is it any somatic, verbal, or
Verbal.
material components? Verbal only. Okay, so he knows you'd have to say something. Is it roll to hit or is it just a saving throw? Because if it's a saving throw, I don't think you need disadvantage for this because you're not trying. You're just doing it yourself. You're just speaking
You
word.
drive a disorienting spike of psychic energy into the mind of one creature you can see within range. The target must succeed on an intelligence saving throw or take 1d6 psychic damage and subtract 1d4 from the next saving throw it makes before the end of your next turn.
Cool. What's your DC?
My DC is my DC. 13. Save DC.
I'm sorry. He rolled a 19 on the die, and he's got a -1 to that, but still beats it. So, is this a half damage thing, or is this a cantrip with no damage?
This is a cantrip with no damage then.
All right. Well, he's now aware that you've tried something, or someone has tried something, and that is his trigger to follow through on a threat. So, and this is actually going to trigger a few things. So,
okay.
Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad. So, rapier does slide across your part of your throat, clavicle, and just a little on your chest as you take 7 points of damage.
Okay.
All
Great
right,
start
which
to the first
triggers.
episode.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
not great. But this kind of triggers the other guy, who for some reason has now decided that too long time is taken. First person has been taken, and he's taken that as his cue to do the same to the unfortunate gentleman. And let's see what hits first. 8 and 4. All right. And in the blink of an eye. Sorry, I got to roll a few more of these. The man holding
No, you're fine.
dead as there is a crossbow bolt that is through his head. Hello?
Hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So who just got shot? I'm sorry.
The second man, like the one holding you, has now attacked. The other one was about to do the same, and a crossbow bolt hit him in the back of the head through the window that is behind you two.
Okay.
And he is currently
Oh.
dead on the floor. And the other two just used that distraction to charge in. And last one was, yeah. He has run the last person through. Actually, no, Kieran, sorry. It's just a D8. 7. All right. Hey, you get back a full 11 points of healing.
Nice.
Ooh. All right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. And immediately after seeing that you're okay, they look toward the stranger and Constantine, and she goes over and quickly hugs them as Constantine finally seems to be conscious of surroundings, getting that gag out of his mouth, the shirt back on, and turns to the woman and hugs her and says, "Oh, dearest cousin, you're all right. Oh, come to save me. Your damsel in distress as always." And he starts to essentially laugh, but he's very dry throat, very hoarse. And it looks like he's barely able to stand on his own. But they are trying to. Hello?
Back now.
Oh.
Hello. Yeah.
Or you clear up?
Yeah. That broke up.
Everybody back?
So he's trying to
Everything's
stand
cut
up.
out. What was the last thing you guys heard?
I just heard that he's trying to stand up. Constantine, I think, is trying to stand up.
All right, he's trying to stand up, barely able to do so on his own. He's already hugged. He's now identified dearest cousin, and made a small joke about how he's being saved like the damsel in distress as usual. And they are slowly trying to making their way out, as talking about how his night of celebration for his great departure was sullied by ruffians at the local drinking hole, as they clearly didn't know how to hold their own. And as they're slowly going downstairs, the man with them helping you up and asking very plainly, "Who the hell are you?"
My name is Virtue Obedience Hawkins, but I'm no one here really. I was on my way to the docks. I'm trying to get on the boat, the Gale, to go to the new land, and I was lost. I heard this fellow Constantine, and I thought I would investigate. I didn't realize I was walking in on a battle.
This. All right, going in order. I don't even know if I should thank you or not for doing this, but I'll let the green bloods handle this. This is beyond what I'm here for. My name is Kurt, and for the most part, I'm gonna say you helped return the prince and his cousin to help make their arrival and sort out some sort of thanks and maybe show you where you need to go. You said the docks. This is
Yes,
part of
the
it, but not
docks.
the part I think you want to be around.
No,
All right.
no,
Come
apparently
this way.
not.
You sure you're all right? That's nasty. Do you have a weapon on you at all? Do you know how to fight in any sense of that word?
I know magic, some, and I do carry a sickle on me and a crossbow,
All right.
and fight a little.
This happens again. Okay. Honest advice: do that if they come at you with pointy weapons, or run away, or something. Not sure if you gave them any of that
Right.
beforehand, but it looks like you just sat there and let it happen. Take it this was your
I
first time
did, but
in anything real.
he looks kind of distant when he says that at first. Is my
It's none of my
first time
business.
here, yes,
No,
I suppose.
like I said. I'll bring you back and see if they want to say something. For the most part, I'd recommend just being a lot more careful on where you go sticking your nose in and learn to be quieter. But hey, you saved us from having to pay these. It looks at the now bleeded out and dead bodies. Well, they would have been taken care of one way or another. They did not know who they. Yeah, they didn't know the guests they were being so hospitable to had friends in the higher places. Either way, come, let's go into the docks. And from that, you're led on and shown the
Very
proper
grateful.
way. Now you meet up downstairs, and Constantine is now wrapped up in a slightly better cloak. Most of his clothes are pretty ragged the night before, but the overcoat is nice. And that's not the only thing now. And he's beginning to make his way, and you see Kirk go up and start talking to him just for a bit before they come to you and essentially beckon you over. And Constantine being first. Yeah, Constantine does give his thanks for what he's been told was your assistance in his rescue. As he says he's unable to recall anything of what happened after his recent attack.
Well, it was nothing really, sir. I just heard a voice and thought I'd help, but I didn't really help, sir. I'm just glad you're all right.
Thank you for your modesty, but please let me know if there's anything I can do before I leave. I'm bound to the new stores. Been appointed governor,
You are?
so I'll be. Yes.
You have.
But I'll be leaving tomorrow, so if there's something you do, I need to try and make it happen soon before I do leave.
Well, that's just it, sir. I'm wanting to leave for the new land myself.
For Tier 4D, are you headed to New Serene as well?
I am. Sir, if you would take me on as a servant and assistant, I would indenture myself. I would work
Perish the
however you
thought! And
needed
just
to
essentially,
get there.
I'm just like, you will come as my guest. I can speak with the captain.
Oh,
Need not worry at all. I will handle it. And
as-
when I get there, if you do require any assistance in setting up, I'm not sure if you're going to visit newer family or the new start that's promised there, but if you need assistance or work, I'm sure we
I
could
am
help you
going.
find something. But come, let us take us
Oh,
from
well,
this place.
thank you. Uh, uh, surely I mustn't be your guest. I'm not worthy of such an
I
honor, sir.
insist on it. Come. You were one of my rescuers, along with my dear cousin, Isades. Let us go. We have a few more things to discuss with Martha. But afterwards, can you assure that our new guest is properly accommodated while on the trip and until I recover just a bit from that grueling trial? I think I'll need a bit of rest beforehand. Proper food, awful things they made me eat. Some kind of burnt food. Awful, really. And these two now seem to step away. And Kurt is essentially the one leading you towards the docks, where he and eventually who you now are introduced to as simply Desarde, the woman, also gives you her thanks and hands you the essential proof of passage on the boat and asks if you have a place to stay.
All right. I do.
Very well. We're leaving.
The hostel with the.
All right. As I've been informed, the voyage will take place at first with the tide, as I imagine, first light of the tide, and we hope to see you there. Until then, thank you for the honest intention of help and the generosity to do so. Not many would in this day and age. And she does shake your hand.
You're more than welcome.
Does ask, might I ask, are you a arcane practitioner of sorts? I saw you attempting something.
Of sorts. I'm still relatively new to it.
Well, perhaps on the voyage you might speak of such things. I've dabbled in the arts a bit myself, not the intense study, but in the texts that I've been allowed to forensic through court. Until then, I hope for a better day tomorrow.
Of course. Thank you very much.
Be well until the voyage. And they say their goodbyes, quick tip of the hand, and they make their way towards the see the large and upper west side, as you are now, well, you now have passage, and you seem to have made a quick friend of the new governor of the new city you're headed towards.
Ooh.
So that's something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad he didn't die.
Heck yeah. Me too. I just didn't know what to do, man. I was like, I mean, help.
Yeah, that
But
could have
how?
gone a lot worse.
You're the only. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You're the one who has the least experience in doing anything. You're the only one who pulled on the thread to see where it led.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
I mean, she
face it.
was the
No
only
one
one
else was.
there.
The only one who followed the thread.
Fair enough.
You got lost and then left, but then investigated the thing. You guys had your own things and chose to just do your own thing, which is fine because it gave you exactly what you needed and where you needed to be. But like I said, the
Yeah.
city's alive and it's doing its
I'm
own thing.
intrigued by this guy.
It seems like we're going to get more of him, too.
You've met 3 people
By
that
all
are
these people,
likely to be.
actually, yeah.
Well, I mean, you currently met 3 people. Everyone else has met. There's a captain that was also met. You know, to well, most of the people you've known, they're just kind of leaving on the island. But you know the dwarves. You know the fathers of the year, ship captains.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys, because this is not a place you're about to stay for a while. You're literally going to set sail tomorrow morning.
It's
But if
temporary,
there's
but
anything else you guys would want to do before nightfall hits and you guys are off to the next thing.
I mean, I think after going to the cafe, Neris would go back to the tavern and wait to hear back from Virtue. Not sure if he would.
Oh.
Yeah.
Virtue, one thing. You only notice Desarde and
Yes.
Constantine are the ones heading home. The one called Kurt, who was in that really nice armor, seemed to be, after taking you to the docks,
Uh-huh.
seemed to have been headed toward other coin guard, who are essentially outside of the docks, who seem with some of the Nort in the warehouse. But after essentially showing you where you were going to meet up the next day, you're essentially free to leave or do as you wish until then.
Okay. So Kurt seemed to be hanging out with who now?
You people who would have been told of are the Coins Guard, the hired mercenary group of the city who acts and patrols it.
Okay. Making notes. Cool. So, Kurt is the guy with the short hair here. And
Yes, a very nice
Desarde
armor.
is
Desarde is the woman
yeah.
with the rapier who seemed to have a bit of magic with her. Who, while asking
Yeah.
for one of the arcane studies, she
Okay.
says she's only a student of the arts.
Okay.
Yeah, which is just my way of saying she's a bard, not a wizard or a sorcerer.
Right. Okay. All right. And do you have any art for Constantine yet? It's not a big deal.
I do, but not yet. I actually have to look for it because there
Okay.
are stages to him, and he's. Let me see if I can find the right one because I kind of got these a while back.
Okay.
Properly store them. You know, anything else you guys
Yeah.
wanted to do?
I don't think there's anything out. If she would go there, or if she had other stuff she wanted to attend to, but I don't. He doesn't know of.
Just gonna
Brett.
head to the tavern, but we haven't seen much of.
All right. You guys would meet there then. I don't know how long you'd be staying there waiting, but that's where you'd meet. Discuss as you will.
All right.
Okay. So Virtue will just walk through the door looking rather flabbergasted. Flabbergasted, I guess would be the word.
Neris looks, I think, concerned to start out with.
Instantly,
It's
she
like,
would look for you, Neris.
is everything all right? You seem upset.
More than all right, I suppose. I'm not upset, I'm exhilarated, I guess. I have passage.
That's great. That is great. Glad to hear
And
it.
you will not believe how I obtained it.
How? Tournament to the death?
Well,
I think so, but
not quite. But I was on my way to the docks. I tried to follow your instructions, but I got lost and I heard a voice calling for help. And I went to investigate. And to make a long story short, I ended up in the crossfire of a negotiation turned rescue for Constantine, let me see if I can pronounce this right, Dorley. And he is going to be the new governor of the New World, and when he heard that I was heading to the New World as well, he invited me to come along with him as his guest.
really? That
Really?
That is impressive. I mean, that's definitely cheaper than, paying the fare, but that's great. I think you've
Indeed.
got good standing. I mean, if he's offering you passage, then that certainly means that he is very grateful.
Certainly, but I have to admit I didn't do much, but I'm flattered and intrigued. And perhaps when we're in the New World, he'll be able to pull some strings and allow me to meet the people I need to meet.
From the sounds of it, yes.
Learn more about my family history.
Maybe heal some of those. Well, he could be very,
Perhaps.
very useful. Friends in the right
Precisely.
places and all that.
But I hope I can be useful to him as well. I don't want to be a leech.
Yes. Well,
But I suppose we'll see.
you saved his life. I think that stands for something. From the
Found the
sounds of
picture.
it, at least.
Yes. But what about you and you? Ooh, he's cute. Damn.
Sorry.
Squirrel.
You met the dwarves, right? I mean, you ran into the shop.
Yes. I recall. They give you a good farewell?
I think he reaches into his pocket and holds the coin purse. I think as well a farewell as they're ever going to give. But yes, I've revisited a couple of places that I have enjoyed in the city, and I'm looking forward to the possibility in front of us. A new land. All the possibilities are.
New world.
I can't stop thinking about
New
it.
life. Me neither. I don't think I'll be able to sleep tonight.
So much possibility, and I don't know what's in store for me when I get there, but I am never planning on working in a place with low working conditions ever again. From here on out, I'm planning on doing things my way.
Well, perhaps I can talk to Mr. Dorley and again.
Think so?
I don't know what kind of opportunities this could open up. You've helped
Actually-
me, and I'd like to help you if I can.
I'm sure we'll be able to have each other's backs. But thank you. And again, I hope that I can help you more, and hopefully we could figure out exactly what's going on with you.
Yes.
I'd actually like to take a moment real quick to roll a history check on Constantine. I don't know if I know anything about this guy, other than what's, might have already been stated.
This specific person, then yeah, go. You can go ahead and roll. It'll be a little high for specific details. See what you get.
That's a 22. 16 plus 6.
All right, and you know for a fact that he is. It's more telling than how much of what you know for the princes in the family of the ruling court currently for the congregation is how much you don't hear about him, which is, from what you understand, is very telling. That for those in courts who essentially lose face or have been deemed less than worthy by their families tend to appear less. And the fact that he's being given the position of governor, which is great honor and reward, but that no news of things he's done, be it appearances, deals, brokering, good or bad. It's not that there's no information on him that's good, it's just there's none at all, be it good or bad, scandal or triumph, some unknown story, which is
Nothing
itself
which kind of
a lot odd. Which is odd.
implies that there's something.
And something happened because he is. You know that he is the son of the current ruling prince.
Yeah. I think Neris kind of takes a beat and just kind of has a contemplative look on himself, on like his face. I'd keep an eye out though. You've gotten yourself, well, I think that this is great and a great opportunity. You have gotten yourself wrapped up now in something a bit bigger than yourself now. Nothing we can't handle, I'm sure, but any situation he was in, what did you save him from, if I may ask?
From what I could tell, he had been drunk and he upset some fellows. They seemed to think that he would be worth a decent ransom, and I was involved in his rescue, though not very directly. I just happened to be there. Not too
Chance
useful,
encounter.
really.
I mean,
yes.
You got him out of that situation. I think, again, I don't know him all that well, but I'd imagine if he's booking a passage to the new world, he's grateful. And yeah, that's
Indeed.
not nothing. Far from nothing, I'd say.
No, it's truly something. I'll be intrigued to learn more about him. Though I'm afraid of him learning too much about me, I will say.
Yeah.
Not to
For now,
be smart.
keep your guard up and act friendly. I'll keep an eye on
Good
your
advice.
back. Hopefully,
Thank you.
hopefully, any suspicions aren't warranted, but we'll see.
Yes. Well,
Anyway, I guess
she'll call for a drink at the bar and raise a glass. To a new world, to a new life.
to enjoying our last night on this continent. He raises a glass himself, and I assume they drink.
Huzzah!
Uh,
So that's a good place to bookend it for tonight. That was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed that.
nice. I don't know if we want to stop here or if we want to.
Yeah, here's a good place.
Crystal walks in and joins up. I don't know. Gonna meet on the boat either way.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm essentially starting the next one tomorrow, like morning dock. You guys can essentially have the group meeting there.
Fair enough. Maybe some
Yeah.
interesting
I'm going to tell you guys
NPCs.
this. There are a few NPCs you guys will, some of you have met, others have not, that you can be introduced to in multiple ways. As you guys board the ship, I'm just going to say, you guys skipped a very impressive boss fight.
Oh.
It was optional. It's something you would have had to have looked for, but it was there. But it's now taken care of, and you guys are ready to hit the new world.
Yeah.
All right. I'm so excited.
Yeah, no, to be frank, I'm surprised nobody tried to go out and explore too much, just because I suppose time restraints and the signal from the storm killing me just really killed the ability to tell the story. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all right. We get it.
Next time.
Passing through
I understand. I was trying to listen as closely as I could so that I didn't have to interrupt you or ask you to repeat, because I know that as soon as you say something,